Hello and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. Back with another Gran Turismo 7 gameplay. And the theme of this live stream, every now and again in a live stream I will have a theme. The theme is, for this live stream, strive for fun, not perfection. I will talk a lot more about that theme as the live stream rocks and rolls. But nonetheless, sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. With a lot of video games, I strive for perfection. I have to get gold, I have to come first, I have to defeat a boss without getting hit. I don't know. I always strive for perfection. And particularly with Gran Turismo 7, since it released, I have been absolutely torturing myself with Music Rally, particularly the third track. I have been desperately trying to get a gold. Gold. Gotta get gold. I managed to get a silver trophy. 5.11 miles. And I was like, nah, it's not good enough. Gotta get a gold. Gotta strive for perfection. Well, it's time for a change. Not just for Gran Turismo 7, not just for gaming, but life in general. And I am no longer, well, I'm going to do my best to no longer strive for perfection. Instead, I'm going to strive for fun. This is the first time I play Gran Turismo 7. You know, this is my first GT game.
Good Vince.
Gani, that's going to become my new name. That's going to become a meme now. Gani. Hello, I'm Gani from Green Hill Gaming. Chad, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How are you doing?
Hey Johnny boy.
And Colson, how are you doing? You're both very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming for another Gran Turismo 7 live stream. And the theme of this live stream is strive for fun,
You're too slow
not
that
perfection.
What Sonic would say, sup Johnny.
Wacko, you're also very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming for my Gran Turismo 7 live stream with the theme of strive for fun, not perfection. And I don't care what Sonic says. I'm not Sonic. I can't be as fast as him. So Sonic
Glad
can
to be a
kiss
part of
my
the
hole.
stream, my guy.
And that is much appreciated. Much appreciated. And I hope you enjoy the live stream. So,
Hey,
from now
Bamboo
on,
and Wacky. Good
I am
Vince.
going to do my absolute best in life, in video games, and with Gran Turismo 7 to no longer strive for perfection. I'm striving for fun. So, to the best of my ability, no more torturing myself for hours in and hours out and days in to try to get a gold trophy on this track. Instead, I'm going to accept the fact that I got a silver and say, you know what, that's a good result, and move on to the next part of the game and have fun with it. Again, this is my first GT game and I want to have fun, because you are limiting yourself, you are stressing yourself out, you are holding yourself back when you are just desperately trying to get the gold. You know, I'm going to be focusing, obviously, because this live stream is Gran Turismo 7, I'm going to be focusing on Gran Turismo 7 with the team, but in general, I think that is
Hey
great.
Chad, how are you today?
I think that is great advice in general to stop striving for perfection, just have fun. But again, it is going to be specific to Gran Turismo 7. So the game came out a couple of days back. I think it was Friday. I want to say Friday. I think it was Friday anyway. And I have only been playing Music Rally so far. I've only gotten to the third race, and I have just been obsessed with getting a gold trophy, and it's holding me back. It's stressing me out, and it has to end. You know what I mean? It has to end, and I need to move on to the rest of the game. And instead of striving for perfection, I have to strive for fun. It's about time I actually started enjoying this game and playing this game. I'm not a pro at Gran Turismo. How the hell can I be a pro at Gran Turismo? This is my first time playing Gran Turismo. You know what I mean? The fact that I got 2 golds and a silver, you know, that's something I should actually be, you know, extremely, you know, proud of, considering it's my first GT game. So anyway, that's enough chit chat. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to have one final kind of, I'm just going to like let it all go in this live stream. You know what I mean? All the perfection, you know, striving for perfection, just letting it all go one final time.
You want to know what level that gives me PTSD in Sonic Heroes Rail Canyon?
Rail Canyon. I haven't played Sonic Heroes in a very long time, Wacky Wacko. I love that game actually, to be honest with you, but I haven't played it in so long. What's the level that freaks me out in Sonic the Hedgehog games now in general? Let me think. Probably, I don't know if you know this, I streamed it a couple of weeks back. Actually, probably a couple of months back actually. It is the jungle level in the Sega Master System version of Sonic the Hedgehog, when you're trying to make the jumps on those logs in the waterfall level. Absolutely just gives me so much fucking anxiety. But yeah, I am going to, in this live stream, give this track, the third track in Music Rally, just one more attempt. Well, attempts. Doesn't make sense actually, one more attempts. Give it a good few more attempts. But I'm telling you, the next time that I play Gran Turismo 7... Now, I do want to point out that I won't be live streaming this game a lot, because when I live stream Gran Turismo 7, it turns off HDR, unfortunately. And I really do want to get that HDR experience. Now, considering I've played this track over and
I'm
over...
doing good today. I'm going to eat dinner soon. I picked up some games today from the clearance shelf. Good vibs.
Glad you're doing well, Chad. Enjoy your dinner. What are you going to have? And what kind of games did you pick up, man? Any gems? Any cool games? So yeah, I've experienced HDR on this track well by now, but I just do want to give people a heads up if they were expecting to see some more Gran Turismo 7 on my channel. Unfortunately, you won't see a whole lot of it, because I do want to witness HDR. I really do. But I might do a couple of video clips and stuff like that, and you just never know. Maybe I'll go live once or twice, or, you know. You never know. I'm live now, and that's all that matters. But I'm telling you, the next time that I'll play Gran Turismo 7, I'm moving on to the next Music Rally stage. And whatever, like, see, I'm not going to strive for perfection. But if I know I can do...
Never played these games, glad to catch these little streams. Fried chicken, sheltering.
Can't go wrong with a bit of fried chicken. And Colson, I was the same no up until the release of GT7. I'd never played a GT game before. I did play a demo of maybe the first on PS1. And thank you for that, man. I'm glad that you were in the live stream watching. But yeah, it's just about time that I just stopped all this perfection mentality. You know, I have Breath of the Wild. Now, Breath of the Wild is obviously a completely different game to Gran Turismo 7, but there's shrines I still haven't gotten to and completed. There's so much in games I haven't done. Why should that be any different to Gran Turismo 7? Why should I strive for perfection in this game? You know, so the thing is, right, last week I platinumed Sifu. I knew I could platinum Sifu. I knew that I could get the Prodigal Child trophy, that I could defeat the final boss with an age 25. I knew I could do that, but I have attempted this so many times, and I'm like, there is no way I'm getting a gold from this. So You see, there is some challenges I know that I can do, right? And that's not so much striving for perfection. That's just a fun challenge. So, like, when I move on to the next few tracks in Music Rally, if I feel I can
discovered
get
new stuff playing Breath of the Wild again. Good vids.
Isn't that just amazing, Chad? So many people are, to this day, 5 years later, discovering more in that game. I love hearing stories actually like that. It's really, really, really cool, to be honest with you. So that's the thing now. So as I move on to Music Rally, the next few tracks.
Back then when I was young I never 100% platformers, but until in 2021 I actually 100% a platformer.
Nice one, Mackie. Well done, man. What platformer was it? I'm going to guess it's Sonic Heroes, is it? So that's the thing. Yeah, I'll be able to tell whether I can actually get a silver or a gold. You know, but I'm not going to spend an entire day on it. Like, that's just not fun. Again, I am striving for fun, not perfection. You know, and that's what this is about, really. You know. But nonetheless, here we go. I think I have manual gear turned on.
No, it was Super Mario Sunshine from the GameCube.
Oh, well done. That is, I'm telling you, I have yet to actually 100% Super Mario Sunshine. I actually attempted it a while back. You know, when it got re-released on the Switch as part of the 3D All-Stars. I have yet to 100% that game, man. It's actually a tough platformer to 100%, so well done on that, man, honestly. Good job. Oh, I've changed gears. I mean, I've been trying to do this for so long in games, and just life in general, just to have fun and stop taking things too serious and stop trying to be a pro and a perfectionist. Like, it's about time I just put an end to all that kind of stuff, like, you know. I'm getting too old for this shit, you know. And I need to have fun playing games. I mean, life is serious enough as it is, you know. Every and again, you have to be perfect in life. Well, you don't really have to be perfect in life, but you know what I mean. I just feel like I want to have fun playing Gran Turismo 7, you know.
Got my Switch in today with Smash Ultimate happy.
Ah, nice, man. Nice one, Coulson. And what a game to kick things off. Isn't it amazing that the Switch is 5 years old now? That is insane. Normally 5 years is the life cycle of a console. The Switch is only getting started. Like, according to Nintendo, it's midlife in the cycle.
Wow.
So, yeah, 5 years the Switch is being released, and Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, Metroid Prime 4 is coming, the next Pokemon game released this month, and the next Pokemon game after that, or last month, is releasing at the end of the year. Bayonetta 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, from third parties, well, Bayonetta 3 third parties as well, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. Man, Switch is just getting started. You know, I'm so glad I actually decided to change my mind and just, you know, let go of all this.
Kirby of the Wild this month.
Kirby as well. Kirby as well. Kirby of the Wild.
Well, Sonic Colors Ultimate is the first Sonic game. I 100% I remember I mentioned in the Colors Ultimate streams.
Oh, well done.
I decided to get one so I can have one of each consoles. Hope I enjoy it.
I decided to get one, so wait a second. I decided to get one so I can have one of each console. So, but I think you will enjoy Switch. I have yet to come across somebody who hasn't actually enjoyed the Switch. The thing about the Switch compared to Nintendo's most recent consoles is it doesn't feel like a gimmick. You know, as fun as the gimmick was of motion control and touchscreen, it was a gimmick. And even glasses free 3D, that was also a gimmick. But there's nothing gimmicky about having your favourite games with you at all times. Nothing gimmicky about that. It's so convenient. Like, I was only talking to someone last night and they were telling me that they were able to play their Switch while they're waiting to get into a game of Dead by Daylight. You know? Like literally just playing Switch and PS5 at the same time. Like that kind of convenience is just, it's insane. You know, it's a gaming experience that is with you.
Does that.
it's just like, it's a gaming experience that is with you everywhere. That's not a gimmick. Shaking your hand, you know, about, and you know, with the Wii, that was a gimmick. You know, touchscreen controls, that was a gimmick, and it was a fun gimmick, and I enjoyed that, and millions of other people enjoyed it too. But it was still a gimmick, you know what I mean? It was the gimmick of the hardware. But the Switch is just like, oh, you want to play Witcher 3 while you are on a long journey? No problem. You know? And no, Chad, I'm not getting the Witcher 3. Be quiet. I'm only joking. I think what I gotta do as well, right?
Ukrainians in the bomb shelters are playing Nintendo Switches. No joke. Sheltering.
Yeah, so even in the middle of a war, you can play your Switch. But I honestly can't believe that it's been 5 years. The Wii U didn't even get to 5 years before, like, as in, like, the Wii U didn't get to 5 years before, like, the Switch got announced. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's actually kind of insane, like, when you think of it, like. And there's so many more games to come, as I mentioned. And to think that somebody once told me the Switch would be a flop, or how wrong they were. It's kind of embarrassing for those people, actually. I almost feel sorry for those people, just how stupid they are, like, how wrong they were, actually, more than anything else.
Yeah, the Switch feel like a console, doesn't feel have so much gimmicks. It feels like the GameCube that doesn't really need too much gimmicks.
Yeah, it does actually feel like a
I've never played
proper
Zelda
console.
Games. Would Breath of the Wild be worth it to get?
Oh my god, I would recommend Breath of the Wild to anybody. I really would. Yeah, I would really recommend Breath of the Wild. It's a very welcoming Zelda game. You don't even need to know anything about Zelda. You don't even need. You definitely don't need to know the classic elements of Zelda, because the classic elements of Zelda have been removed in Breath of the Wild. It's completely different.
Breath of the Wild is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it didn't win Game of the Year for nothing. Put it that way. Actually, I'm sorry, but can I just turn off comments, because it's
I've seen
literally
a lot of speed runs.
It's literally the computer voice. I'll keep the computer voice turned on. I'm just going to get rid of the actual the overlay of the comments, because it's right in an awkward position. It's literally where the gears are. So it's just very distracting. Again, not that I'm striving for perfection or anything, but there's one thing as well I have to start accepting, and it's my limits. Yeah, the limits of my abilities, right? Like, I am not a pro at Gran Turismo. There's absolutely no way I can be a pro at Gran Turismo. It's my first time playing it, so I need to accept the fact that maybe I cannot get a gold in this track, or at least not anytime soon anyway. Maybe I just need to play more of the game, have fun with it, play it to the license, right?
As long as you have fun, man, that's all that matters.
Exactly, and I'm going to do my best to live by that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I got the deluxe edition, for God's sake. So I need to get my money's worth of it too. Like, you know what I mean? No, but seriously, I just want to have fun playing this game more than anything else. And I'm going to try to apply that to my other games as well, just like in general, like, you know.
2022 is definitely will be a good year for gaming, because the games, man, they're very interesting and super exciting, because man, 2020 and 2021
felt like a metaphor years.
Suicide Squad, Evil Undead game, all looking forward to them. I'ma play them and have fun, I hope.
Man, I don't even know where to start with 2022 in terms of games releases, man. I mean, from God of War Ragnarok to Breath of the Wild 2, to Bayonetta 3, to a brand new Pokemon game. I mean, like, honestly, like, it's just one hell of a year. Like, I mean, Gran Turismo 7 right now, Kirby next month. I mean, me personally, man, there's just so many games. There's so many games to look forward to. I swear, I feel sorry for my wallet.
Oh yay, God of War, I need to finish the first lol.
Oh, Spinneroonie. And what a game. What a game God of War 2018 is. Oh yeah, speaking of God of War, there is a TV adaptation coming to Amazon Prime. I'm going to have to get an Amazon Prime account. I'm going to have to say no to Disney Plus, because I was going to get Disney Plus, but I'm not going to have 3 streaming subscriptions. That's just insane. That would just be too much. Like that on top of my TV and broadband subscription is way too much. So I think I am just going to stick to Amazon Prime. God of War will do me fine, you know what I mean? But yeah, that got announced like an hour ago, actually. It's too. Oh man, I mean, it's like it's costly, like, isn't it? No, I wouldn't be willing now to have multiple subscriptions now at all, to be honest with you. Right now I just have Netflix. And if I'm going to get a second one, it's going to be Amazon Prime for God of War. So it actually appears that if you choose manual gears, right, manual steering, you can actually get the higher speeds.
But Amazon Prime is okay, there's obviously better, but comes with a lot of perks.
God of War is enough for me. I'm telling you, man, God of War is being adapted to a TV series. God of War is coming
next month for the new Batman movie. Good vids.
That's right, but God of War, that's all I can say, man. God of War. I'm just like obsessed with God of War, so God of War is coming to Amazon Prime. Say no more.
HBO Max is getting a lot. The new Peacemaker was perfect, and I'll have to check it out. God of War might be interesting.
And I just love God of War 2018, so the fact that God of War is being made into a TV adaptation for Amazon Prime. Just God of War. Nothing else matters. Just God of War. You know what, the more I play it through this track, again, I'm actually, like, it's a bit like Sifu, really. Like, I'm proud of my personal achievement. This is my first time playing. Like, I mean, I play a lot of fighting games, brawling games, and games like Sifu over the years. But I never played Gran Turismo. I never experienced like, a true driving simulator. So the fact that I'm actually making this progress, even getting a silver in Gran Turismo, because I did hear that getting gold in Gran
There's a
Turismo.
God of War survival game on PC.
Survival game on PC. Is that one of those like fan-made mods? I don't know why, but they annoy me so much. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just love it. I just like official.
I'm still waiting
games,
for that Black Wesker Netflix trailer, El Boca.
I think we all are, to be honest.
Like DBD kinda.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, Coulson. I always just roll my eyes to those kind of things. I really do. But yeah, we're all waiting for that Black Wesker. But you know what though? I'd be willing to forgive the bad casting, right? If they do a good like origin story of like the Umbrella Corporation. I really would be willing to forgive the fact that Wesker is now black. I honestly would. God, I actually wish I was still a wrestling fan because the new WWE 2K 2022 looks absolutely amazing.
Wait, what? A new Netflix Resident Evil or something?
Yeah, there's a live action Resident Evil Netflix series. But the thing is, like, if you are massively into Resident Evil, like, I don't know how you'd feel about the fact that Albert Wesker is being cast as black. Now look, you don't have to worry about sounding racist, okay, with your opinion on that. I mean, don't be afraid. I mean, Albert Wesker.
The new movie or?
No. Based off the, well, it's supposed to be based off the video games, but last time I checked, Albert Wesker wasn't black, so I don't know what kind of video games that they're after playing anyway. But yeah. But honestly, man, don't worry about giving your opinion. The fact of the matter is, man, like, Wesker is not black, and that's a fact, and that's not racist, and that's not offensive. It's Wesker is not black. I mean, I'd be equally offended if Wesker was cast by some fat,
I feel like Black
Wesker Russian fucking.
The only good thing with that new series, Sheltering.
Wait, what?
Well, it might be decent. What game is it based on?
Well, I feel like Black Wesker is going to be the only good thing. Chad, don't be winding me up now.
It's like a what if series.
Well, what if Wesker was black? Okay, I can't say I share your enthusiasm there, no, Coulson, to be honest. I don't think I've ever lied awake at night saying, I wonder if Wesker was black. I wonder if Wesker, became a BLM supporter. Instead of talking about all you people in Raccoon City, white privilege. No, I don't. No. I can't say I have, Coulson. No.
Wow.
I mean, like, seriously, like, No, I know what you mean, like what
He
if, like,
spent
but
a lot of time in Africa, sheltering.
he spent a lot of time in Africa. I mean, I know the T virus can change your DNA, but I wasn't aware that it could actually change your race, you know? But man, I have, and I will continue to be very vocal about this. I mean, I don't care about these little snowflakes, these little woke snowflakes who just are looking to cancel people. You know, there is nothing racist about stating a fact. Absolutely nothing racist about it. I've no issue with black people. I've no issue with black actors. In fact, I think the actor playing as Wesker is actually a fantastic actor. He was in Fringe. I used to watch Fringe. I love that show. But the fact of the matter is, Albert Wesker is a Caucasian, blonde, man in this Netflix live action series.
Boca is black in the Batwoman series, El Boca.
The what? Oh god, man. I don't know anymore. But yeah, Wesker is not black. As simple as that, really.
Rip Greenhill Gaming Channel cause of death cancel culture.
Oh, stop. I know, yeah. Taken down by a bunch of snowflakes. I'd love it though. I'd love if someone did join the live stream and get all offended, because what in the name of God have I said that's so offensive? Wesker is not black. I mean, is he black? Is Wesker black? No, he's not. Like, put it this way, right? The first artwork that they actually released, like the first footage actually they released for this Netflix series, was the zombie dog, and it looks exactly like the zombie dogs. I mean,
you don't like black people, you SMH people get offended over anything.
You don't like black people, you SMH people get offended over everything. But put it this way, right? It wasn't a rabbit, you know, because that would be strange, wouldn't it? Like a zombie rabbit. Like, there's no zombie rabbits in Resident Evil, as far as I know, anyway. I know there's a zoo in Resident Evil Outbreak. So why cast Wesker as black? You know, if you're going to recreate the zombie dogs with such precision, then at least cast out Wesker as someone.
Spencer left Wesker as a kid to get the milk and never came back, sheltering. Where can
Possibly.
I watch this trailer?
On Netflix. It's not even a trailer. It's not even a trailer, to be honest. So how do you feel about, I'm just curious, how do you feel, Coulson, about Wesker being black? Is it something that, like, bothers you? Because it actually bothers me. Like, the reason it bothers me is the fact that, again, Wesker is not black. Like, if it's going to be an adaptation of the video games, and it's only a matter of time before someone comes out and says, this is a faithful adaptation of the video games, then faithfully adapt Albert Wesker. Faithfully cast Albert Wesker.
The trailer is not out yet, they're still filming.
Yeah, it's not really a trailer, really. It's just a little clip. I wouldn't even call it a clip, actually.
I mean, it's not ideal. My take is they shouldn't change race for a character they set up like 100 games for.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. We all have our Albert Wesker in our minds from playing the games over the years. So that is the Albert Wesker that should be given to us. Not like appeal to like woke snowflakes by, you know, oh, we might as well just have Wesker as black to appease the black community, appease the woke community. Look, everyone, we're including black people in our movie.
But like Catwoman, who's black in the new Batman, that one worked it fit outfit was horrible, but character was cool.
Man, I don't even know, man. I don't know much about like Batman culture, man. I could care less, to be honest with you, man. But I mean, Wesker is not black. That's all I'll say. I'm not having a go at Batman or anyone who likes Batman. I'm just saying, I'm not really bothered by casting choices in Batman. It wouldn't bother me personally, is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you know, I'm more of a Resident Evil nerd, like, so when they cast Wesker as black, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, like?
Those are fighting words, haha.
No, not really fighting words. I'm just saying, like, I can't say I have an emotional fucking. I don't really care, like, you know what I mean? But like when it comes to Resident Evil, I do care. One thing about me is, whenever I'm making a point, I always keep it specific. So it's basically me
but
just...
it's not really the best casting choice. You should try to find a look-alike for the perfect live-action TBH.
Oh, it's the worst.
Catwoman was originally played by a black actor in the 1960s Adam West Batman, Sheltering.
Well, thank you for that history fact, but I have no fucking interest or clue about Batman, to be honest. But thank you for that fun, did you know, factual point there from Chad. But
you know.
but yeah, it is a shit casting choice, like 100%. What if Wesker was black in the video games and he was represented by like a white American Trump supporter? Like, what if he was going around, do you know, instead of wearing sunglasses, what if he actually wore a hat saying Make America Great Again? I mean, I wonder how that would go down. But no, instead we'd probably have Wesker wearing a fucking BLM t-shirt, just to appease the woke culture.
Wait, they made a Resident Evil 2 live action for Europe.
You mean the original Resident Evil 2? Of course, I know, it's like searching a lot of Resident Evil movies. I know there was a live action kind of trailer, right, that they released for the original Resident Evil 2.
UmbrellaWars.com with Wesker Jones, El Boca.
The fuck? UmbrellaWars.com with Wesker Jones.
3 years ago they posted a trailer.
Oh. Well, I don't think I've actually seen that.
Looks horrible from the picture, lol.
Oh god. More horrible than Leon S. Kennedy in the live action movie? The reboot?
I'm actually about to do my first Re2 remake play though.
Oh, nice one. You're gonna stream it?
Leon looks decent on the picture also maybe.
Huh. Like Colson, I don't think me and you actually had a conversation actually about the reboot movie. I can't remember. But like, that movie just takes the biscuit, like. I mean, the director, like, is all like, this is a very faithful adaptation of the video games. We even went to Capcom and got the blueprint for the mansion. And look at how the RPD building looks like the RPD building. And then they hire a fucking scruffy Hispanic for Leon Kennedy.
I went to watch it with my dad, and I had no expectations, but I think it was cool. Too much fan service.
Fan service? Fan service? And how many fans of Leon S. Kennedy envision him as a fucking Hispanic scruffy guy? The fan service you get, man. And then they have Chris Redfield as like this kind of like guy, like where he's calling Claire a conspiracy theorist for wanting to expose Umbrella. Last time I checked, at the end of the mansion incident, Chris Redfield initiated a fucking internal investigation into Umbrella, headed off to Europe to go straight to their headquarters to expose them. But no, in the movie he's like, stop with your conspiracies, Claire. Nobody wants to hear about your conspiracy theories. And fuck that movie. Honestly. And Chief Brian Irons, what the fuck his name is.
The guy from Scooby-Doo for Chris, and the guy from Victorious as Leon.
Crazy shit altogether. But like, and then Chief Irons, who's meant to be like a complete psychopath in the video games, is the comic relief.
YouTubers telling you it's better because no Paul Anderson, El Boca.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And they get paid to say it too. But that's exactly it, man. Just a bunch of Paul Anderson haters. A bunch of Mila and Paul Anderson haters. I mean, it's easy to please those fuckers, like, you know what I mean? Just don't have Alice in it, like, and they're happy, like.
Leon if he has curly hair, huh?
He'd probably do a better job, to be honest with you.
My acting skills are perfect, definitely not capping.
Well, you should cast yourself. But yeah, nobody has actually made a faithful adaptation of the Resident Evil video games. Like, why can't they do it like the Sonic movies?
The animated series on Netflix though was pretty good. Have you watched it?
I have. It's okay. I mean, it's better than the live action movies. Yes, it's only alright, like. Doesn't quite capture the horror feeling of it. I mean, what amazes me about the Paul Anderson and Mila haters is they bashed them and their movies for being too action orientated, yeah? Oh, where's the horror elements? Where's the horror elements?
It's a hard project to perfect.
Not really. There's actually novels. Somebody Perry, the Perry novels, right? And she does a fantastic job, not only adapting the video games into a novel, but expanding upon what's already in the games. All someone has to do is make that into a script. Because that's essentially what a script is. It's a book. Right? So all that has to become is a movie. Like a movie script. And there you have your perfect adaptation of a Resident Evil game. That's all that has to happen.
The cancelled Netflix series looked good, Sheltering.
It did. It looked better than this shit anyway, as it was out. Like just because people make shit movies of Resident Evil doesn't mean they can't be done. There's plenty of people out there that would love the opportunity to make an actual good Resident Evil game or Resident Evil movie. But as I was saying anyway about the CGI Resident Evil movies, they're like fucking action animes. They literally are animes. And nobody then complains then about the action.
But
the over the top
series and live actions are hard because people's going into it with so much expectations. Hollywood needs to set back and let.
Man, I don't think anyone is going in there with high expectations. I think when someone hears that this is going to be a faithful adaptation of the video games, I think that's the only expectation they have. But instead they get a Hispanic Leon, a half a cast Jill Valentine, a Wesker with no sunglasses who's apparently a good guy, and Chief Irons as the comic fucking relief. I mean, how is expecting a video game movie to be based off a video game high expectations? I don't get that. I don't quite understand that. But yeah, I don't think it's hard at all.
William Birkin being Chris' dad, Sheltering.
Yeah, William Birkin being like the foster dad of Chris Redfield. But when I heard, I actually got it. Believe it or not, I actually got it on 4K Blu-ray, and I watched because at the end of the day, I'm still a Resident Evil fan. And whether I criticize a game or a movie or whether I love it, I'm still going to get it because that's the fact that I'm actually a fan of Resident Evil. But I was watching the special features and the director of the movie was going on about, we're telling the origin story of Wesker. What a load of shit. Because Wesker was Wesker long before the Mansion incident. Like he assassinated James Marcus, stole his research long before the Mansion incident. And he was working for Umbrella long before the Mansion incident. That's Wesker's origin story.
Retro stream of Dead Aim when?
Dead Aim. Never. But no, apparently in the movie, like, you know, oh yeah, oh god, oh the pause for this, oh this really made me laugh. This, I swear, this really made me laugh, right? The director was talking about Wesker. No, I think actually the actor that plays Wesker was actually talking about Wesker. And he was like, you know, it didn't quite make sense, you know, for Wesker to wear sunglasses everywhere. You know, it didn't quite make sense. Didn't quite make sense. Didn't quite make sense. Look at fucking the fucking William Birkin G-form. Like, looking like something straight out of a fucking, like, sort of a video game, like completely fiction, right? Just fucking a monster, basically. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But wanting to wear sunglasses indoors doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, who the fuck makes these fucking movies, man? Seriously. Idiots. I mean, how the fuck can they say these things with a straight face? That's what amazes me, man. I can't get over it, man. I mean, there's absolute idiots making these movies.
That's the most profit, maybe.
They want a quick profit. That's what it seems to be. Yeah. There's money. It's got nothing to do with being faithful to the video games. It's got nothing to do with a passion. Oh, I love playing the game. We can all say that. I love playing the games. Look at me. I love playing Gran Turismo. I'm a pro at Gran Turismo. I've been playing Gran Turismo all my life. Look how good I am in Gran Turismo. You know, I used to spend 20 hours a day playing Gran Turismo. I'm an absolute fucking pro at Gran Turismo. You know, I'd like to announce that I'm going to make a video game based on Gran Turismo. Look at me. Woo. I just love Gran Turismo, everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can all say that, like. You're exactly right, Colton, man. It's a quick
Sony
profit.
Having Ghostbusters and Spider-Man. They didn't even advertise the Resident Evil movie, Sheltering.
Man, I wouldn't advertise that shit either, man. Honestly. I mean, at least Ghostbusters was actually good. And so was Spider-Man. I said I took one look at Resident Evil and were like, you're on your own there, pal. But I'm telling you, the people making these movies are just idiots.
Squinting face.
But yeah, I get very passionate about Resident Evil, don't I? But I'm just waiting for somebody to make an actual good Resident Evil movie. And I'm not optimistic. I'm not hopeful.
Max Payne and the Morbius movie coming out, Sheltering.
Nathan Drake with the Max Payne and the Morbius movie coming out. Huh?
Give me $10 million, I'll make the dream movie.
No problem. No problem. Send on your PayPal, and I'll forward on the funds. I think the first thing that needs to be done is
Tom Holland's Uncharted movie.
That's already out. That's already out, man. Well, it's out over here anyway. It's been out over here for weeks. But the first thing that needs to happen to create a successful video game movie, any video game movie, whether it's Resident Evil, whether it's Uncharted, whatever, is it needs to be made by the players, for the players. None of this crap about, oh, let's appeal to people who've never played the games. Let's give them a movie to watch. No, fuck them. I wouldn't go to a fucking football match because I don't like football. You know, or like, if you're not a fan of Resident Evil, then this movie is not for you. Get the fuck out of the cinema. Simple as. That would be the first thing, right? That would be the first thing, first and foremost. And then because of that, because you're appealing to the fans, and I'm not just, when I say fans, I don't mean people who are like, oh yeah.
FIFA or NFL sheltering.
Neither. I don't mean the fans like, oh yeah, I played the remake of 2 and 3. I'm such a big Resident Evil fan. No, I mean actual Resident Evil fans. I mean people who have played the mainline series and who actually understand the lore on a deeper level than just, oh, it's about zombies and the Umbrella Corporation. I mean hardcore fans like myself, right? Who could talk for years about the lore of Resident Evil. And base the movie from that lore and explore from the very beginning of the lore all the way up to like the Raccoon City incident and throw it together like a 3-hour movie. Like the Batman is 3 hours, right? And that's an adaptation of a comic, right? So have an adaptation of a video game and make it 3 hours and put in that lore and put in those characters and make an actual...
None of those tall vampire lady simps, El Boca.
Yeah, none of them. Make it for the fans. I think Hollywood needs to stop pandering.
I know nothing about anime, but let me tell you, there's some creative people. Someone made a whole season with voice acting and every.
That's pretty cool, man. There are some talented people out there. Unfortunately, none of those talented people are actually making good Resident Evil official movies. So yeah, Hollywood needs to stop pandering to fans or to people who are not into Resident Evil. Oh, let's give them a movie to watch. No, they can fuck off and play Fortnite or some shit, man. Seriously. I mean, Resident Evil 7 and 8 sold extremely well in their millions. There's your audience. Like there's your packed cinema room. There's your box office hit right there. You don't need to appeal to people who are not fans of Resident Evil. Because guess what? Hardcore Resident Evil fans will take one look at Welcome to Raccoon City and say no thanks. But if you make a movie that appeals to the fans recognise and say, oh my god, that's Oswald Spencer. You know? Oh my god, they're exploring the origins of Oswald Spencer. They're going into the eugenics project. Oh my god, this is fantastic. You know? That's what needs to happen. And it doesn't even have to release in cinema, they can release it on Netflix. But it actually baffles me though how the director of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City went to so much effort to make the mansion look like it did in the games, and the same with the Raccoon City Police Department, but like just look at the casting. If you looked at the poster for Welcome to Raccoon City, right, and you just you didn't know it was a Resident Evil movie, right, you wouldn't have a clue who those people are.
Do you have a Switch friend code?
Honestly, like, you actually wouldn't have a clue who those people are.
This whole stream is criticizing games. Sorry, YouTuber watchers, haha.
And fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. The whole stream is criticizing gamers. Sorry, YouTuber watchers. Fuck YouTuber watchers. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is shit. The upcoming Resident Evil Netflix series for the Black Wesker is shit.
Haven't set it up yet, Chad, but I'll tell you when I do.
So what you're going to get from Green Hill Gaming is honesty. Man, I think if Capcom paid me to praise their movie, I'd have to say no thanks.
It's Johnny the 10 million and let's see how good we get.
Man, if I got the budget and the resources that fucker did, I would do a far better job. And I'm not talking shit, like, I mean, anyone who knows me, anyone who really knows me, like, for a very long time, right, and who's listening to me talk about the lower Resident Evil will agree with me. The thing is, anyone, let's face it, anyone can make a movie. You just need to have the same resources that most of those people do. You need to have the budget. You need to be able to have people. Just click your fingers and have a cast of actors. Click your fingers and have people.
Do you know who you would cast for like Leon or anyone?
Well, I'd begin with someone who actually looks like Leon. That would be a help. How about an actor?
You're not wrong.
How about an actor that looks like Leon? Because at the end of the day, right, I remember the director was saying, oh, well, we cast people who looked like Leon, but we felt like it didn't make sense. And I'm sitting there listening to that, and I'm thinking, that doesn't make sense. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? And then he was like, oh, we want people who have the energy of Leon. Listen to me. You can do all of the above. You can have... What is an actor? What is an actor? Huh? What does an actor do? They act. They play parts that isn't them. So you get an actor that looks like Wesker and that looks like Leon, and you say, okay, I want you to act like Wesker. Like, this guy's a fucking retard. So that's what I would do. I would cast actors who look like Leon, who look like Wesker, and say, act like them, please. And you know what? They wouldn't even have to have played the video games. Just get them to act. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, Jesus H. Christ. Oh my fucking God. I mean, where do I start? I mean, like, Daniel Craig. Is he an MI6 agent? No, he's not. He's an actor who plays the part of an MI6 agent. Or MI5, or whatever the fuck it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a 007 agent. He's not an actual fucking agent. Do you know? God, like, I mean, they're actors. They play the part. So this crap about, like, oh, well, you know, I hired a scruffy Hispanic because he loves Leon Kennedy. I fucking love Resident Evil. I love these characters. Does it mean that I can play those parts? You know what I mean? Like, idiots. Honestly. But give me 10 million, man, and I'll do a far better job.
In not knowing anything about the things they're going into. For example, Tom Holland didn't know his script and he...
Because it's called acting. That's why he gets paid. That's why he has a job. That's why he collects money at the end of the fucking week. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna act. If you're an actor, you're gonna act. Oh, the surprise. Oh, it's a shocker, isn't it? I mean, Jesus, like. But yeah, you're right, like, I mean, it's a sign of a good actor. But yeah, give me 10 million, man. Well, I'll probably need a lot more than that, to be honest, but give me a lot of money, a lot of resources, and I can guarantee you I'd make a far better Resident Evil movie than both Paul Anderson and this other guy. I've no real issue with Paul Anderson's movies, but like, I prefer to tell an actual, like, rather than telling some kind of prequel, kind of origin, standalone story, I'd rather just tell a story that's based off the actual lore of the games, you know what I mean? And as far as the lore is concerned, there's one thing that I really would like to focus on, and it's the fact that the lore of Resident Evil is not just zombies and the Umbrella Corporation. It's much more deeper and darker than that. So the origin of evil isn't the Umbrella Corporation. It isn't the T-Virus. It's a very warped, twisted, sick and demented man that goes by the name of Oswald Spencer, who wanted to be the god of a new world inhabited by what he believed to be like superhumans with high intellect and intelligence. He was into eugenics. He wanted to create the perfect race. The Umbrella Corporation was nothing more than a front. It was nothing more than a profit-making opportunity to fund his eugenics project. The progenitor virus, which gave birth to the T-Virus, was a way of achieving his eugenics project, because they would alter the DNA, hence making them stronger and more intelligent. The progenitor virus is also what started the Wesker Children Project, which is basically what kind of gave, not birth, but like, you know, the Al Wesker that we know, and Alex Wesker. And this is all well before Raccoon City, well before the T-Virus. So yeah,
we'll be having McDonald's tonight instead. Sheltering.
Lovely. What happened to your fried chicken? So if I was making a Resident Evil movie, Coulson, that's what I would explore. The lore of, and I don't care. I would be the most like straightforward, honest, you know, director going. I don't care about fans of Resident Evil who don't know much about the lore. If you don't know much about the lore, either know about it or fuck off and play Fortnite. Simple as. If you're not a fan of Resident Evil, either become a fan of Resident Evil or fuck off and play Fortnite. Because I'd make a Resident Evil movie for Resident Evil fans. And I'm telling you, it's something like, you know, some guy came like, oh, but you've got to think of the logistics and the statistics and the profit. Fuck off.
Chicken was delivered late,
you know,
and cold. Sheltering.
Late and cold. Fucking hell, man. You get a refund, man, or something. I wouldn't be taking that shit at all. No, boy. You should actually. No, man. Fuck that shit, man. Your food shouldn't be arriving cold and late either. You know what I mean? You need to get some satisfaction there, no chat. After this race, I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to end the gameplay segment. The next one, play Gran Turismo, and moving on to the next track. And I'm actually going to give you, Coulson, and Chad, and everyone watching, my Resident Evil movie. And you're going to have to bear with me now, because I'm not very good at explaining things at the best of times. But I'll try to keep it as clear as I can.
Looking forward to it also, Rick Chad.
Well, I'm glad you're looking forward to it, man. And I know that you would have joined my live stream when I was playing the Resident Evil Reverse, I believe. So I presume like you're big into Resident Evil. So before we go any further, do you know about the origins of like Oswald Spencer and his kind of eugenics experiments and his belief system? Are you aware of all that? Like, how would you describe your your knowledge of the Resident Evil lore. Because I'll be honest, if you don't know much about that, then this movie would not be for you. I mean, you'd be welcome to sit there and watch the movie, but I ain't gonna pander. I ain't gonna pander to you.
Yeah, I was waiting for my cue into that beta, and I know from 1-4 and 7-8.
You know from what the fuck? You know from 1 to 4 and say, oh, I know you know the, okay, so you know 1 to 4, but what I'm saying is, do you know the lore, like the deep lore, that's like found in like a few documents here and there, you know? Like, do you know the deep lore of Resident Evil? Do you know, like, the fact that Oswald E. Spencer...
I mean, I guess, yay.
You guess. Okay, oh, okay, let's presume that's... Okay, cool. Well, you're going to get a deep dive anyway into the lore as I kind of explain my Resident Evil movie. And it will be 3 hours long as well. I mean, if a comic book adaptation can be 3 hours, then a video game adaptation can be 3 hours. Okay. A bit of background noise as well to get it going. So, Johnny's Resident Evil. That's actually, do you know the way, like, you have got like John Carpenter's Halloween? It would be Johnny Nagel's Resident Evil. That's how confident, cocky I would be with my movie. Johnny Nagel's Resident Evil. This is my Resident Evil. This isn't Paul Anderson's Resident Evil. This isn't I don't even know the name of the fucker who directed Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. No, this is my Resident Evil. Johnny Nagel's Resident Evil. Yeah. Green Hill Studios. Okay, so as I mentioned, first and foremost, this is a movie for die-hard Resident Evil fans. Not casual Resident Evil fans who jumped on board when the series took off, like with 4 and 5, and like may have played a couple of the remakes. Oh, the graphics are amazing in 2 and 3. I love Resident Evil because the graphics are amazing. Not those fuckers. Yeah, and it's certainly not a movie for non-Resident Evil fans. For people who like to go to the cinema on the weekend and grab a bit of popcorn and love their action and gore. Let's watch a good movie. You want to watch a good movie and watch something else because it's not for you. And that is how honest I would be about it. Straight up. I'm not going to bullshit to the fans. I'm not going to say it's this and it's that when it actually isn't. That's how honest I'd be. So that is what my movie is, and that is what it is aimed. That is who the movie will be aimed at. So it would be not only a faithful adaptation, an actual faithful adaptation of the Resident Evil video games, but a deep adaptation into the lore of Resident Evil. Not my take on Albert Wesker. I think Albert Wesker is mistaken. I think he's just a troubled man who, throughout the course of the movie, realizes who he is, and it will surprise you, what Albert Wesker becomes in my movie. Fuck that shit, right? Fuck that shit. Because what you would see in my movie is the actual lore, the actual adaptation of the lore. Okay? it will be based off the games and the lore that's already there, adapted into an actual movie, a 3-hour movie. It's not going to pander to casual fans, non-fans, and it's not going to be like a different take on the lore, a different take on the video games. I can't stress enough, I can't repeat myself enough when I say that this is a Resident Evil movie based off the video games and based off, a deep lore of the games. So, okay, I'm now going to attempt to basically tell the entire movie, which is going to be tough, but I actually mentioned this a while back on my channel, so I don't know like if Chad or anyone else like remembers this, but the opening scene cuts to a castle high up on a cliff. And any die-hard Resident Evil fan, once they see this castle, will instantly recognize it as Oswald E. Spencer's estate, where he actually lives. Oswald E. Spencer, and people will know Oswald E. Spencer. Casual Resident Evil fans will know Oswald E. Spencer as the old man in the wheelchair in 5 that dies. Hardcore Resident Evil fans will know Oswald E. Spencer as the single most important character in the entire Resident Evil series. Everything is linked to that man, Oswald E. Spencer. That is how I would begin the movie. I would begin by where he actually grew up. His family home, this castle, his own estate. This is where the movie actually begins. So it's just to add a bit of mood. It's dark. It's stormy. Lightning in the background. And Oswald Spencer is really old during the events of Raccoon City. See, I'm doing what most directors don't do, and I'm actually trying to do my research here and try to get things right. I'm trying to think of...
Then Dante burst opens the door and points his guns at Spencer, elbow cup.
That is something that director would do. So as you can see, I'm taking my time and I'm actually thinking of what would make sense here. I think of time. Yeah, okay, so we see a young Oswald E. Spencer. Oswald E. Spencer in the early 1960s. Now, I don't know his exact age. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure I can find that out. It's not a problem. I can find that out. But basically a young man, a young Oswald E. Spencer. And again, he is in his estate, he is in his castle, and he is in front of a piano. And he is playing Moonlight Sonata. Not some weird ass fucking tuner thing that tunes a piano, that plays like a small verse of it, and is like just a really cheap rip from the games. But like a lot more meaning and depth to it, because apparently it doesn't make sense for Wesker to wear glasses in that movie, but it does make sense for a piano to magically play fucking Moonlight Sonata. But there you go. Who am I to judge that movie, huh? But anyway, this is my movie. So he's sitting there and he's playing this piano, this piece of music, Moonlight Sonata. And it's a really deep, emotional piece of music. Okay? And you kind of see the back of him. But
Spencer is then contacted by Dr. Willie, sheltering.
The Mega Man crossover. But the hardcore fans, will know this is Wesker. They'll know it's his estate. And he's got like an old, like black and white TV kind of in the room as well, right? And on it is just news of despair, right? Just wars, violence, sickness, homelessness, just all this is being kind of shown on the news, right? It's basically like what you would see basically on the news. It's bad news, right? And he gets up, finishes his piece of music, right? Gets up, looks at the TV, and just says pathetic. Right? That's the first word he says, pathetic. Because he views humanity as pathetic. He is superior. He feels superior to the world around him. And then he looks out. Okay, I'm actually going to extend the whole fucking movie from scratch here, like. But then he looks out from his window, and he's looking down. Again, he's looking down because his castle is way up high in the cliffs, and he's looking down with a kind of like a god-like stance, right? So really, they're setting up Oswald Spencer as this kind of like character that feels so superior to the world around him, right? And then there's like a very like loud kind of like knock on like the front kind of fucking door of his castle, and there is there's two gentlemen, or three actually, because there was another guy involved as well, at his door, and he greets them, and he's like, he's just basically, so one of them would be Dr. James Marcus, but he's not going to like say, oh, Dr. Marcus, he'll address them as James, he'll say James, and then there'll be fucking Edward Ashford, so he'll say James Edward, and I think there was another guy as well, remember his surname, Bailey, who would later actually establish the connections as well. So he greets them outside his castle, brings them in, and then it cuts to like this like lounge area where they're like having this like meeting, and they're basically just talking about what's going on with all these like wars, and basically just discussing the downfall of civilization, the downfall of humanity. And it kind of cuts into a scene where they are basically discussing eugenics and how they believe that the world should be inhabited by humans with superior genetics and intelligence, because that's basically what eugenics are, because they were involved in eugenics in the video games. And Oswald Spencer was like, there's got to be a way to reset humanity to reset this broken world. And they kind of look at him, you know, the three other guys just look at him, kind of like, this guy's mad. But they still kind of like share his beliefs with eugenics, but they kind of believe that he's a bit unstable, so to speak, right? And then he says, what if we could alter the DNA of humanity? What if we could force evolution? Right? To create a new breed of humanity. Okay, I'm going to speed through the rest of it. So basically that leads to their investigation in Africa, to the stairway to the sun, I think. It's the flower basically that contained the progenitor virus. So they kind of, you know, hang around Africa for a bit, kind of researching this. I'm not going to just describe the whole fucking movie from start to finish, but the progenitor virus gets discovered. You see that, you witness that, you get to see, and you get to see why it was discovered as well. Because once he had the progenitor virus, he knew that he could actually alter the DNA of humans. So he could create like superhumans, intelligent humans, and he could be basically like, he could restart humanity and be a god of this new world. So he then realizes, even though he's a very, very rich individual, because he is from a aristocratic family, so he's got plenty and plenty and plenty of money, but to fund a project like that, he's going to need a hell of a lot more money. So he decides to establish with Dr. James Marcus and Dr. Ashford, they decide to establish the Umbrella Corporation, Umbrella Pharmaceuticals, I think they were called at the time, to fund
what
this
about
project.
billionaire Ken Masters? Sheltering.
Fuck them. So Umbrella Pharmaceuticals is founded. Now, Dr. James see, the thing about it is, Spencer, Marcus and Ashford, they all have their own kind of thing going on. For Spencer, again, it's just purely about like becoming a god of a new world, forcing evolution on the world. I think for Marcus, he saw the potential of the progenitor virus as like creating basically a bioweapon, basically you know, a very powerful virus. And he's like Leech Project would kind of, he was the one who actually created the T virus, actually, Dr. James Marcus. Dr. Ashford kind of saw the potential of kind of using eugenics to basically bring honor back to his family, to kind of like basically recreate his ancestor Veronica Ashford, which was really intelligent and good looking as well. So superior genes and intelligence. So there was 3 different things going on at the same time. So they all went off and did their own research basically on the progenitor virus once Umbrella Pharmaceuticals was established. But then things took a bit of a interesting turn, because kind of word got out of what Umbrella Pharmaceuticals were doing, like researching the progenitor virus, you know, generic viruses, and all of this, you know, got out. And none other than the US government, in fact, the US military, found out. They approached Umbrella Pharmaceuticals and offered them a deal. Either shut down Umbrella Pharmaceuticals and arrest them, or fund them in return for Umbrella Pharmaceuticals creating biological weapons for the US military, which is why the Umbrella Corporation was established, and which is why the Umbrella Corporation decided to create biological weapons like Tyrant, Cerberus, and all of the other bioweapons you see in the series. They weren't created because Spencer wanted them. They weren't created because Ashford and Marcus wanted to create them. They were created because they kind of had no choice, because they wouldn't be funded otherwise.
Nice movie.
Because thank you. Because the US military basically made them create bioweapons. And thank you, Coulson. So that would just be the very beginning of the movie, basically. Now this is just an idea. I mean, this is an idea. I mean, there's a lot more people involved in movie making. I mean, there's the script writer, there's the director, there's the casting, there's a lot involved in it. But that's
How long 2 hours in?
No, not quite. This would be 2 hours in now, because I mean, I would obviously expand upon it a lot more, but be about 3 hours long in total. So this would be like the opening, basically. I wouldn't squeeze it in, but I would basically just tell this. But this would be an opening. This would be an opening, yeah. Or I could drag it out. All depends. And then you see one of the first projects. So with all of this funding, with all of this money offered to the Umbrella Corporation now, you would see one of Umbrella's first and darkest projects. And that would be the Wesker Children Project. So again, going back to Oswald E. Spencer's true motives, true goals, true objectives, which is basically eugenics driven to create a perfect race of superhumans, as he called them, in a new world where he would become God. What he would actually do with the Wesker Children Project is actually kidnap some of the world's most intelligent kids with high intellect and high superior genes. One of which being Albert Wesker, another being Alex Wesker. But for my movie, I'd focus particularly on Albert Wesker. So you actually get to see. So this is my interpretation. This is something you don't see in the games, but it happened. You'd actually get to see Albert Wesker as a very, very young child, basically being taken away by Umbrella, reared by them, supported by them, and put into education by Umbrella, and actually going to work for Umbrella. But he always knew he was drawn to something. He didn't know what he was drawn to, but he was drawn to something, and he always did his own thing.
Albert Wesker, played by Tom Holland, sheltering.
He never accepted authority. He always wanted to break free from something. So I'd actually tell a story of that. He actually so he would have been reared by Umbrella. So the only thing I can think of there is maybe you actually get to see him in the Umbrella orphanage, but in a very kind of interesting way. So he breaks free from them a good few times, does his own thing. I don't need to be here. I can look after myself. That kind of way. So he kind of, he's even scheming at that age where he's trying to break out of the orphanage and do his own thing. Then, he starts working for Umbrella, and maybe he starts kind of doing his own kind of experiments or something like that. But you get to see a young kind of renegade kind of Wesker, basically, always doing his own thing, always has his own motives. But he knows he's drawn to something along the way. And I would basically kind of lead it up to
Spencer, played by Harry Potter, sheltering.
I would lead it up to the events of the Mansion incident. So you'd cut to a middle-aged, a young enough Albert Wesker as a man, and William Birkin, being ordered by James Marcus. So James Marcus is you know, Spencer is getting out of control and all this kind of stuff, you know. So, you know, we've got to be careful of Spencer. And he's like, oh, okay. But Spencer actually ordered the assassination of Dr. James Marcus. And the word gets out that Ashford is dead as well. So it's basically just Spencer at this stage. And then he says to Wesker, you know what you must do. And Wesker looks at him saying, what kind of a thing? So then I would just basically tell the mansion incident, but actually true to the games. It'll more likely be like a trilogy or something. Crossed flags. Mr. Audio Dude. I had to look at your name there to get it right. Mr. Audio Dude, welcome to Green Hill Gaming, where I am
I'm back.
Welcome back. So yeah, that would be my Resident Evil movie. And Mr. Audio Dude, how are you? I'm going to have one more race of this, and then I'm going to wrap up the live stream, because I didn't actually realise there was 1:45, to be honest. It actually is a lot later than I actually thought it was. So one more race, and as the title of this live stream says, you know, I am not striving for perfection, I am striving for fun. So I'm not going to obsess over getting the gold in this track anymore.
I would love a trilogy, but you better make it perfect for 3 hours. My ass hurts setting so long.
I know, Jesus Christ, I'm the same as well. Like, I know, I'd make it entertaining. Don't worry. I know. I just basically like obviously, like when you're actually making a movie, like it becomes a lot kind of more practical than just sitting there talking about what's going to happen from start to finish. That's why there's script writers. That's why there's casting. That's why there's action sequences planned out. I mean, there's a lot to make in a movie, but if I had the resources and I had the budget and I had the people, like, you can't just think one person can't make a movie. So I'd obviously have a lot more people working with me, advising me, giving me tips, you know, kind of saying this is what I think.
7 and 8 canon to the series?
100%. 7 and 8 is canon to the series. 100%. Absolutely 100%. These are Resident Evil games. I mean, I like to consider them more canon than fucking 6, to be honest with you, man. Honestly, you know, 100%.
Would make a good movie.
Thank you, much appreciated. But it wouldn't just be me. I mean, there'd be other people, you know, with me on the movie. You know, different areas. You know, costume design, set design. You know, like. So I just basically sat here for like almost an hour, just like talking about like my movie, like from start to finish. I mean, that's impossible. Nobody can make a movie. Fuck's that nice? That would be rain. Raining heavily here. Like this, the start of my movie. Oh my god! You know who it actually cast as Spencer? Oh, let me think about this one. I actually had somebody in mind for Spencer, but
yeah, it'll be good. You better make the Dream Tyrants and MRX and Nemesis low.
Yeah, the enemies that we know and love in the series. I'm trying to think who would actually cast as Spencer. I don't know his status again. No, I was actually going to say Anthony Hopkins as Spencer. But no disrespect to the man, but he is fairly aged right now at the moment. So as far as a young Spencer, I don't know if that would work very well.
Jim Carrey, sheltering.
Jim Carrey as Spencer. Fuck's sake, Seth. But he'll be the main character. Like, basically, what I'd like to do is to make a Resident Evil movie where the main character is not like your generic, like, oh, Chris, Jill, Leon, because, like, yes, they are the playable characters in the games. But here's one for you. You play a game, you don't play a movie. There's one for you. See, it takes
Kevin Hart as
intellect.
Leon and Dwayne Johnson as Chris Lowell.
Fuck's sake. It takes intellect. It takes intellect to think about these things. You play a video game. So yeah, Chris is the playable character of Resident Evil 1. Leon is the playable character of Resident Evil 2. Jill is the playable character of Resident Evil 3. But you're playing those games. You don't play a movie. You explore the lore of the story. The lore is story. Characters are playable. There's a difference. So you have to understand that the most important character to the story of Resident Evil, to the lore of Resident Evil, is Spencer, because it all started with him. It all started with Spencer. So he should be the main character, in my opinion, of any story you tell of Resident Evil. Like, it amazes me, like, this cringy promotion for Resident Evil 2 and Shitty, where Claire was like, discover the origins of evil. I'd rather hear Alice saying, my name is Alice. I vote for the Umbrella Corporation. You know what I mean? I'd rather hear that tell the truth.
Nothing we can do about it though.
Well, that's not the attitude that's going to get us a Resident Evil movie now, is it?
Let's boycott Sony and Capcom, let's go.
Well, it's not so much Sony. It's more down to the actual like studio that actually made it. I don't think Sony was a studio that made it. Oh, fuck. Okay, so that is going to do it for the live stream. As I said, I'm not going to strive for perfection. I'm going to strive for fun. So the next time I play Gran Turismo, I'm going to go on to the next music rally, and I'm just going to give it my best. And if I feel like I can, like if in my first attempt I get like,
Glad to catch it. Plan to stream again soon.
I will be, yeah, I will be. And thank you. So yeah, if I feel like I can get like a bronze, silver, gold, I just know my own kind of abilities basically. Like if I hit a brick wall again, that's it. Move on to the next one. I know once I hit a brick wall, you know what I mean. But yeah, so I am just planning on actually having fun playing Gran Turismo. Now, as far as streaming Gran Turismo going forward, the only reason I streamed Gran Turismo 7 today is because I already played this track so many times, so I would have seen it in HDR. Thing is, as I said the other day, when you stream Gran Turismo 7, HDR gets turned off automatically, which is a nuisance for me because I want to get the most. I paid enough for it, so I want to get the most out of it, and combining with the fact that the TV and the PS5 itself, you want to make your money's worth, so yeah, so there mightn't be that much Gran Turismo 7 streams, but I might do a few music, a few video clips as well. So thank you for watching. I'm going to say good night. It's actually more this morning time here, 2:00 in the morning. But unless I will see you next time. And just a word of advice to anyone: don't strive for perfection when you're playing video games. Just have fun playing it. It's much better. So with that, I'm going to say good night.